Hi, Tarun, and welcome everybody. This is Tarun Lala. He is also an old Cottonian, so am I. And today we're going to be having a nice conversation about fans. We spoke about ACs, air conditioners, a few weeks ago. Today we're going to talk about fans. And Tarun owns this fantastic showroom, which is called Fanzart. You guys should take it out. I will leave a link at the bottom in the description so you guys can visit his site and his shop. Hi, Tarun, welcome.
Thank you so much, Uday. It is my pleasure to be here. I am an old Cottonian for 5 years. I also went to Vidyashilp Academy after that. I was the first batch of Vidyashilp. So thank you so much for having me here.
Fantastic. Nice to know you're a part of Vidyashilp too. And let's talk about what we're here for today, fans. So we will be talking about people using fans in residential apartments and villas, right? So if you can just give us a brief overview of the different types of fans that are there and how people can go about selecting fans, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think how we started off in this was we saw some fans. I used to live in the US before, and I remember it was my dad who spotted a really nice fan, and he said, "Wow, this has an amazing aesthetic appeal to it." And
Mhm.
India being such a panga country, there was no
You said
there's
Pankha,
no
not Panga, right?
no. I don't go anywhere near pangas. But yeah, India being such a Pankha country, fans are a part of the Indian home blueprint. And somehow there was no evolution to it. While every other product was evolving functionally, aesthetically, there was no evolution in fans. Of course, this was back in 2011, and that's how we got into the business, right? And since then, since your question was how does a person sort of decide or look at fans, the first thing a person saw was the aesthetic appeal of it. So earlier, the decision making was purely functional. Now there is a huge aesthetic element in the fan itself. And so now it has gone from an electrical product to a home interior product and a luxury product at that one. So the decision went from we need fans and these are the fan points to, this is my mood board. It's classical,
So you're
tropical.
saying that people just looking at a Khaitan, white fan that most people have now moved on to make it an integral, even a talking point in their homes.
Absolutely. To give you a more context, when we started the business, there were no Google searches on designer fans,
Okay.
and now it goes in the lakhs. I think it's over a lakh just in designer fans, and then there are
Okay.
other words: fancy fans, fans with lights, so on and so forth,
Okay.
luxury fans, and so people are looking for an aesthetic appeal in the fans as well. So the aesthetic part is a major portion of it, how it looks, the visual, and how it complements the bed, the furniture around. For example, I am in my study come guest room, and if you see there is wood here, there is wooden flooring. I
Yeah.
had this my
Oh,
fan.
lovely.
Um,
Very
Here
nice.
it's a light grain natural wood two-bladed fan,
Okay.
and it's super convenient. I sit on my Zoom calls. I have a remote here.
Okay.
It's cold outside, so I just switch what's called a summer winter switch, and the fan goes in the clockwise mode. So,
Okay.
because it's cold outside, I don't want the breeze on me. In the clockwise mode, it vacuums the air upwards like
So
an
there is
exhaust
just
fan.
circulation. There is just circulation of
It's
air.
just circulating. And
Okay.
thing is that in an enclosed room, then I'm not feeling stuffy. I'm not
Okay.
like breathing out the carbon dioxide and just kind of breathing it back in. Here it reverses the airflow. And the reversing of the airflow can suit so many different applications, right?
Mhm.
Above a dining table, in a bedroom, along with the air conditioner. Think about the air conditioner. The
So
cool air
you
sort of
one
just
second, one second. What I just remembered is you said this is turning in clockwise direction. That means that
correct.
most fans turn in anti-clockwise direction.
Yes, any fan you see above you by default is going in the anti-clockwise direction.
That's because of the angle of the blades.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The
Okay.
blade is angled in a way where it's anti-clockwise. Of
Okay.
course, you flip the angle of the blade, you can change around the direction as well.
Got it. Got it.
But in general, every fan goes anti-clockwise to give you a cool breeze. We
Okay.
also give the provision to go clockwise, which reverses the airflow. So
Okay.
whether you use it in tandem with the AC or in any one of the use cases, It's
Okay.
the circulation rather than the airflow when you need it. And today is a good example. So first, like I said, was the aesthetic appeal. The second, barring the features, was the specific use cases of it.
Okay.
So what we came out with were models specific to dining tables,
Okay.
where there are chandeliers, or we call them fandeliers,
Okay.
with
So
blades that are
chandelier is what? What is a chandelier for people who
a
not
chandelier
familiar?
fan.
Okay, a fan with a chandelier as an attachment in the middle, right? So that makes it look
Not necessarily. It is a chandelier itself,
okay.
and the blades are either inside and they continue to spin inside, or the blades are curled inside and they're retractable and they come outside only when you turn them on.
Okay, so it's
So
okay. So it becomes a talking point. It becomes a center point. It's interesting. Okay, that's nice.
correct,
So
correct. So
that's
the
called
visual
a
correct.
fandelier. Okay, a fandelier.
So we actually have a registered trademark on the word fandelier,
Okay,
which is the chandelier fan. But
okay,
yeah, it's not. We do have the fans with the light in the middle, but no, a chandelier is the actual chandelier with the blades inconspicuously kind of integrated there.
okay.
And so a lot of these fit the dining table, for example. Then there are specific fans for walk-in wardrobes, for bathrooms, for
So what would
kitchen.
a walk-in bathroom, walk-in wardrobe have as a fan? I mean, if I would look at it, people would just put a small exhaust fan is what generally people would do. But what would you suggest as a walk-in wardrobe fan?
So again, if you look at our target market, it is mostly the top 3% of India. So if you
Okay,
look at a lot of the walk-in closets, they are a fairly considerable size. A lot of them are kind of open closets with the vanity and all as a part of it as well. So
correct.
we have multiple fans. They're all mostly small size, 26-inch diameters and so on and so forth,
Okay,
which have a nice light integrated into it. You have
okay,
multicolor LEDs, which are white light, white, and warm light as well.
okay.
You have the summer winter,
Hmm.
because while putting makeup and stuff flies around. So then the clockwise direction of the fan helps with respect
Okay,
to that use case as well. And the size of it is super small, so it fits into smaller walk-in wardrobes as well.
got
So
it.
we have multiple fans for the ceiling,
Mhm.
and then we have a one small one for the wall as well, in case your ceiling height is not as much. So we have about 3 4 models that are very specific to walk-in wardrobes.
So a walk-in wardrobe would generally require only for circulation of air, right? Because you don't want to, you're not spending a lot of time there. It's just so that when somebody's there getting ready, getting dressed, they don't feel stuffy.
Actually, it could mean either, because if you just come out of the shower,
Okay,
when you have a hot shower, you feel warm, so you need breeze above you.
okay,
Or if you're sitting down there on the vanity or choosing clothes and there's no circulation there, and you're not just out of the shower, that's when you need just the circulation.
got it.
And then you need illumination. So there's the lighting. Then
Okay,
you have the access of the remote control. And then you have multiple models either for ceiling or for wall mount. And then they come in specific colors. So there are 4 5 different features that
okay,
yeah.
nice. So we've now talked about a couple of different fans. You've talked about
Mhm.
on maybe let's say a dining table. So is there anything that's different between a fan for a bedroom and for a living room in terms of aesthetics? Yes, but in terms of functionality, would there be a difference?
We do have functionality which sometimes can be used a little more in the bedroom. For example, we have something called the sleep feature,
Okay,
and the sleep feature is this thing. Imagine you have come home from outside. It's you want a breeze. You've come from outside. You want to feel good, breezy. You turn on the fan on full speed, then you change, shower up or whatever, come back outside, you reduce the speed a little bit because now it's too cold for you.
got it.
You sit on your bed, you put the blanket on, now you increase the speed again. Then
Okay.
it's too incident on you, so you reduce the speed again. And
Uh-huh.
this toggling feature, right?
Uh-huh.
We've done a lot of study on how people toggle the fan,
Okay.
how couples behave. One wants the fan, one doesn't want the fan, for
That's
example.
that would be the next point of conversation. I would definitely want to go into that.
Absolutely. And so the sleep feature is basically a feature where the fan toggles between a higher speed and a slightly lower speed,
Okay.
alternatively,
Okay.
without you having to toggle the fan itself. And that goes on all night.
Okay. So it is pre-programmed for it to increase, decrease, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
Alternatively,
so let's now talk about couples, right? So if there is a couple, and generally women feel cold and men feel warm, that is general. I'm not talking about specifics here. So how do you address that? So how does obviously a fan would address both sides of the room, unless you have pedestal fans. So
Mhm.
what is your suggestion here?
The same, the summer winter feature. As soon
Okay.
as one doesn't want the fan because of the breeze, uh, you
Okay.
put it in the clockwise direction, and both are happy.
Okay. Okay. So you just want circulation. You don't want to feel that makes sense.
Correct.
Okay. So we've been talking about ceiling fans. What
Mhm.
about pedestal fans, and what about these vertical fans that are there today?
So, I mean, other than ceiling fans, there's a lot, right? There's wall-mounted fans,
Correct.
there's table fans, there's tower fans, there's pedestal fans. Even in pedestal fans today, we introduced the first 3D oscillating fans.
Okay. What is a 3D
3D
oscillating
oscillating.
fan?
So usually fans oscillate horizontally.
Correct.
These oscillate vertically as well and horizontally.
Okay.
So it covers a wide variety of where the breeze can be incident.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of those use cases where a lot of retail showrooms, once COVID happened and retail showrooms started opening up, they would leave the doors open, windows open, turn the AC on, but then leave a pedestal fan pointing upward so that the
Correct.
cool air from the AC is vacuumed in and shot up and keep that circulation.
Station
As
going.
soon as you keep multiple fans like that, then you can keep fans rotating, right? Think
Got
about
it.
a large living room, and I'm sorry, I'm going back to ceiling fans.
That's
In a
okay.
large living room, you have two ceiling fans.
Mhm.
Imagine one in anti-clockwise direction,
Okay,
one
so
in clockwise.
you then have kind of an atmosphere of circulation that's being conducted inside. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
So similarly with pedestal fans, and that's where the 3D oscillating plays a nice role.
Okay.
They also spin 360 degrees,
Okay.
and a lot of them are a lot more aesthetical in aesthetic in terms of appealing. Some of them are glossy finish, some of them are matte finish, some of them the form factor of them is really appealing. Plus they have nice like digital displays,
Okay.
remote controls, so on and so forth. A couple of them even come with fancy features. Like one of them is called the humanoid and comes with what we call is a human sensor, which
Okay.
is basically a combination of infrared as well as a heat sensor. And what that does is based on where the humans are,
So it's
it
going to follow that.
automatically adjusts the oscillation to where
Okay.
people are.
Okay. So that's pretty
And
cool. Okay. Now we understand the various varieties of fans, right? So you probably
yeah,
also have fans that will come on when somebody enters the room and turn off when somebody leaves the room because of movement, etc. Or also if you have heat sensors and IR, then you can identify if somebody's in the room or not. Okay. That's pretty interesting. I'm sure a lot of people don't know about this, but you did mention that your target market is the higher HNIs, like the BHNIs, the
correct.
HNIs. Is there something that the general public, right, somebody who buys an apartment 50 lakhs to a crore, now, is there something that you could talk to them about? For example, fans that have different colors, one particular fan that goes both clockwise and anti-clockwise, something of that. Because our audience is a wide variety of people who come, right? So if we only address the 3%, then we end up losing out a lot of other people who are interested in fans.
Definitely. I think there are a lot more basic stuff when it comes to the fans.
Okay.
I think we opened up our market to a lot more people when we introduced something called the Bold series,
Okay.
which are a lot more minimalist. They are matte finish. They have a lovely Scandinavian look,
Okay.
and they are very economically priced for our portfolio,
Okay.
which opened us up to online and a lot more in terms of markets. I think if you're talking about 50 lakhs to 1 crore, you are talking about a very strong looking middle part of the pyramid here.
Okay.
And these are people who are aspiring to get new stuff.
Correct.
I know Knight Frank, there is a report about new money making a lot of the premium to luxury spends. And so this is a huge market. And these are fans that are more 9, 10,000 rupees, which come with your summer winter feature. They look nice. They have multiple sizes and colors. We started customizing as well. And so essentially the permutations, combinations of those are unlimited. But I think from a USP point of view, right, the same what that we offered in all our fans, which is true in here as well, is one, they're all whisper quiet, right?
Okay.
They're all under 38 decibels. You enter one of our showrooms, turn all the fans on, you will not hear
Hear a thing.
anything.
That's fantastic.
And then there are other things like, you can have a remote control, you have 5 blades, 4 blades, they look designer. And at the same time, we have the advent of the BLDC motor fans, right?
What is the
Because the
BLPC motor
brushless
fan?
DC motor, out of our about 120 models, we have about 50 models that run on brushless DC motor, and that is being introduced at about 15,000 as well. And those are basically they absorb their electromagnetic motors, unlike your AC induction motor.
Mhm.
And the electromagnetic motor absorbs 70% lesser power.
Okay.
So
So
in
it's more
conventional,
efficient in terms of
it's
consumption
a
of
lot
electricity.
more efficient. And if you take each fan and you scale it to an India level problem, right? When you absorb 80 watts, 85 watts, up to 95 watts in a fan, and you bring that down to 22 watts, 25 watts, when you do a math of how many fans exist in India, the day all the fans in India are powered by BLDC motors, India will save about 3 megawatts of power every hour.
Wow, that's a lot. So that's a lot.
That it's
But
basically the answer
what is
to
the
80
price
hours.
comparison between these fans that are low power consumption vis-a-vis what exists today in the general market? So what is your ROI? When do they break even for that investment, that delta in investment?
So if you really look at it, any fan, right? Even if you buy a 20,000 fan, the idea of these fans is to go on for 30 years and much more, right? And I know older fans have existed for 50 years and more. We ourselves guarantee over 25 years.
Okay.
And of course, we've been in the business for a decade now. And thing is that because we come from a previously manufacturing background, I know my dad was into garment manufacturing and export for about 30 years. So he ran factories. What we've done is we've increased the size, the amount of copper, we've increased the purity of copper. I came from a testing software and hardware background myself. So we run stress testing on all these fans. So we've upped the quality so much that, we won't be surprised if these fans last you over 50 years. Even if you consider 25 years, you look at spending 20-25,000 on a fan, you're talking about $1,000 a year, and we're talking about inclusive of GST and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So for in the long run, when you look at this math, it's actually not that much when you compare a lot of other devices, the longevity to it and what people
Yes.
spend
So
on
it's
it.
actually worth it. So anybody's, it's actually worth it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Awesome.
and I mean, thing is that as a luxury brand, we don't say this, but you then end up saving, like $2,000 per fan per year. So if you have 5 fans at home, you end up saving that $10,000 per year.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Well, anything else you'd like to share with our customers and your customers, and something interesting that they may not know about fans? Obviously, what you talked about, the BLTC and summer, winter, that those are all something new. Not everybody knows about it. Anything else? Any other piece of nugget that somebody would be interested? What is it that one thing that a customer needs to look at when they're buying fans? Let's not only talk about luxury fans, any fan that they go to. What is that one thing that they need to keep in mind?
So there are a couple of things. One, so I'd like to address to three different types of people. One
Sure.
is the architects and interiors.
Okay.
We have fans which are mapped to almost every kind of mood board, and we have 3D models of all of them on Google SketchUp Warehouse, so
Mhm.
you can use them in your renders.
Okay.
For the people who are end consumers and know that these are installed as any other Indian fan. The maintenance is absolutely nothing. We don't use aluminum, whether it's the ceiling fans or the pedestal fans. We use high quality ABS or light grain natural wood. And
Okay.
so the blades are super light. In a moving fan, if you put your hand, they're super safe. They are the safest fans you can find, even for kids, and for people who have seen this before and are not sure about designer fans, we are a product brand. We are not just importers. So we know our product inside out. We have increased the quality of it by at least 100x. These are all manufactured in Taiwan, so they're very high quality and made to Indian conditions, to heat, to moisture, to Indian ceilings, to everything Indian conditions. And at the same time, just to give you an added piece of something that we launched earlier this year as a product brand, DC motor fans always had a challenge in integrating to home automation as well as Amazon Alexa and so on and so forth. We have all these integrations,
Okay,
not
awesome.
only for home automation, for Amazon Alexa, mobile apps, so on and so forth. AC motor fans would always integrate, but they would have a small hum, which
Mhm.
was not desirable. DC motor fans would never integrate. We have created a module called Fan Smart, and we have a patent on this. This
Okay.
is a plug and play, completely wireless chip that would turn any of our fans into a smart fan, which means mobile app, Alexa integration, so on and so forth. Second, we can also integrate to any other home automation solution that you may have, Schneider or so on and so forth. The third is we can offer you end-to-end home automation solution just by offering you a module that turns that fan into a hub. So basically, at 6,000 rupees per module per fan, this not only makes it inexpensive compared to a hub, it also makes it modular in nature. So you can automate room by room if you wish to. A lot of people prefer to do master room and living room. And then if they like that convenience, then follow it up with the others, which is also important because then you don't have to make these decisions while you're making your home. It can
Got
be
it.
a plug and play even
So it's
after your
easier.
home.
It's an easier decision. It's a less expensive decision. It's a more modular decision. Fantastic. That's
Absolutely.
very nice. That's very good. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Tarun. That was very, very good. That's educational. I didn't know a lot about these things. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested. I would also write a small blog about this, and then we'll put this video with that. That would be very nice. Thanks again to Tarun Lala, everybody. And as always, a fellow Cottonian, always welcome. Thanks,
Thank
Tarun,
you so much.
and let's meet up soon. Cheers, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Take
much for
care.
having me here. Thanks for that. Bye bye.
Bye.